Hi folks, it's day 54 today. I think this video might be a little bit long today. Finding it quite hard actually. It's like the sixth take that I've done. I normally like two at most, normally just one. I don't normally do multiple takes. This one I'm really struggling with today. I had therapy earlier on this afternoon, and it brought up a lot of stuff. Just like Friday did, I had a therapy session on Friday, and it really kind of threw me through the loop. Yeah, we talked a lot about what I've mentioned in my last two videos, which is my own feelings of, self-doubt about my diagnosis, my depression, anxiety diagnosis that I've had for years now. And it's not just something I've decided that I have. It's something that's, been decided by mental health professionals. So, I've got psychiatrists, I've had GPs, multiple GPs, I've had multiple therapists, and they've all kind of chipped in and come to the conclusion that, yeah, I do have mental health. I do have mental illness. I have severe depression. I have severe complex PTSD, severe anxiety, severe social and generalized anxiety disorder. I mean, these are real diagnoses. I'm having therapy. I've had multiple forms of therapy. I'm on medication. All these things, it's stacking up, in one column, as in, this is what I have, this is my situation, this is my life. And on the other column, there's a little voice in the back of my head saying, well, really? But what about this? But what about that? But why this is happening? And it's insane. It really is. I don't know why I'm suddenly starting to question, the legitimacy of what I know to be true. And it doesn't make any sense. And I know it doesn't make any sense. And I'm consciously aware of what I'm doing, and I still can't stop it. And that's really scary to me, because it kind of just proves that even when I'm consciously aware of what I'm doing, I only have so much control over how I respond or react to situations. And ultimately, I'm the one that has to process what goes on in my life, and I'm the one that has to make decisions based on what's going on in my life. And I'm the one that's in control. I'm the only one that's in control of my life, ultimately. And if I can't stop myself from questioning what I honestly know to be true, where do I go from there? How do I stop that? And two therapy sessions now, and I still haven't got a decent answer. My therapist suggested several things, which I'll try. I will try, because I wanna stop feeling like this. I want to stop questioning things I know are true and things I know aren't good for me, but I still can't stop myself from doing them. But then I guess that's a depression. I've said before multiple times, depression's not my friend. Depression's lying to me. It's trying to keep me where I am, down and isolated and feeling like shit. And it's succeeding at the moment, unfortunately. And it's frustrating as hell. It really is. It's really destroying me at the moment, because I don't know how to get past it. So yeah, that's what I'm struggling with today. My therapist has suggested that I kind of imagine what I want my life to be, like my best life. What do I want from life? What do I want? How do I want to live? And it's really tough, because I can't see past this. I can't see past being depressed. I can't see past being too anxious to be fully involved in life. And it's horrible. My therapist keeps drilling into me that I'm just being so cruel to myself. And why am I being cruel to myself? What have I done to deserve such hatred from my own mind? I don't understand where it's coming from. And he's, he suggested doing things to kind of doing nice things for myself, because I never do, really. I don't want much from life, because I don't have very great expectations from life, because I really struggle with being kind to myself. And again, these are things that I've spoken about so many times. You've got to be kind to yourself. You've got to have compassion for yourself. Because if you don't have those things for yourself, you're never going to accept them from anybody else. And that's another thing I struggle with that we talked about today. Not being able to accept positive feedback or to accept love and support from those around me because I don't feel I deserve it. And I just don't understand it. How can I be so cruel to myself? And we talked about, evidence, and I've spoken about this before. I've spoken about all this stuff before, and that, it kind of makes it more frustrating, because I know what I'm saying is true. I believe it. I have to believe it, but I still can't feel it. I can't make it true for myself. But yeah, we've spoken about, is there any evidence to suggest I'm not a nice person and I don't deserve to be happy? And there isn't. If anything, there's only evidence to suggest I am a nice person. I have lots of good people in my life, and they wouldn't be here if I wasn't a nice person, or, I wouldn't have a wife that loves me so much if I wasn't a nice person. She sees something in me. Everyone that I know, the people in my life, they all see something in me that I can't see for myself. We spoke about my videos, how I've been doing these for 50 odd days now, and he asked if I'd had any feedback on these, and I told him that I've had comments on some that were really positive and really kind of nice to hear. But beyond reading them once, I can't go back to them. I can't see the comments again, because to me, I don't deserve them. To me, I feel like a fraud when I get a nice comment, or I get a supportive message, or people like my videos, because, deep down, part of me doesn't believe that I'm doing anything of any value here, that despite the evidence to the contrary. So he's asked me to kind of go through all my videos and write down all the comments that I have, and to just reread them, every day. And when he suggested that, it just felt like something I would never even consider doing, because I never let myself feel them, the nice comments and the support, and I can't see my life getting to a point where I will be able to accept those things. I don't know why. And then we spoke about, what it means to feel that way, and, how I don't understand what people see in me that I can't see, and the fact that there is obviously something to see, because people do see it, like my friends, my family, my wife, strangers on the internet, you know, who've read my blogs or watched my videos, it's just me. I can't feel it. I won't let myself. I mean, it's like I'm living half a life. It's like I want to be that person who people see, but I'm terrified to let myself be that person, because by letting myself be that person, I don't know, maybe I'm making myself vulnerable in some way. So I just carry on being cruel to myself and telling myself I'm not good enough, and telling myself that, you know, people aren't seeing the real me, and that it's all pretend, and that it's all fake, and that people are going to realise it one day and turn on me. And I believe it. And it makes me think about, you know, when I was growing up, you know, at some point when you're growing up, you have to decide what kind of person you want to be in life. And all I can remember is wanting to be a good person. And obviously, you know, what your view of a good person is based on kind of like your own beliefs and your own values that you kind of develop from childhood going into adulthood. And yeah, from as long as I can remember, I've wanted to be a good person, and to me, a good person is, you know, being kind and generous and supportive. And that's the kind of person I want to be, and that's the kind of person I try to be. And based on a lot of evidence, that is the person I am. But yeah, part of me is holding back from that, like fully embracing that part of me. So ultimately I ended up, like I say, living half a life. And that's no life at all. So yeah, that's what we covered in therapy today. I'm really, really, really cruel to myself. And I'm cruel to myself in ways I would never like imagine myself being to anybody else, because it's a horrible way to be. I don't want to be a cruel person. And yet being cruel to myself is acceptable to me. And therein lies a lot of my problems. So I've got to work on my self-compassion. I've got to work on telling that voice to shut up. I've got to work on just being the person I know I can be, and the person I am. The person evidence suggests I already am that person. Based on, you know, what people tell me, what people's actions towards me and around me, and people's comments and feedback. And, you know, I need to start letting that stuff in. I need to start believing it. And yeah, doing these videos, I think, it is a good way of doing that. So, you know, I have evidence based on the response I've had from these videos, and I can kind of store that evidence and just look at it anytime I want to. And, you know, we spoke today again about you've got to develop it as a habit, almost. Being kind to yourself, you've got to develop it. Because when you're not used to being kind to yourself, when you aren't kind to yourself, you're never going to be. So, and like again, I've spoken before, to develop a habit, it takes time. It takes time and repetition and conscious effort, you know, and even then it could take months, it could take 9 to 10 months, it could take a year, it could take longer. But I've got to try, and I will try. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, nobody needs to be cruel to me because I'm cruel enough on my own. I also wanted to mention that it is Mental Health Awareness Week. I'm sure a lot of people realise that. We're on Tuesday now. It's also, I think May is, you know, basically Mental Health Awareness Month. And I do have something I want to talk about surrounding that kind of concept of the mental health awareness period. But not today. I'll probably do it tomorrow or Thursday. I do have strong feelings surrounding that, obviously, because it's a subject that, you know, really matters to me. So yeah, but I'm not going to do it anymore today. I feel like I've rambled on enough. Yeah. But in other news, I received my Alpha Stim cranial electrotherapy stimulator today. So I'll be using that later on this evening once I've read all the instructions, so I don't, you know, melt my brain by accident. Not that it would make much difference at the moment. My mind's a mess. So yeah, I'll be doing that at some point today. I'll mention it tomorrow in my video. Also tomorrow I've got something else I want to talk about, if it all works out. Yeah, but I'll leave it there for now. I just want to take a time to kind of thank everyone who has kind of given me feedback and support through all of this. I don't want you to feel like it's wasted on me. It isn't. I do realise that I had that support. I mean, unfortunately, I may not let myself believe it or feel it 100%, but knowing that it's there, it does make a difference. It really does. So thank you all for that. And I just want you to know I am working on it, you know. One day I will believe what you say, and I will believe that I'm worth kind of living, and I'm worth something, I guess. But yeah, I'll leave it there for now. Okay, I'll catch you guys tomorrow.